Welcome to the Cuenca Property Update for July 2023. I'm Jason and I'm here with property sales specialist Xavier Amoroso. In this video, we'll share with you some recent sold properties, key sold statistics, and some high-level trends and lessons that we've learned over the past month. Vamos! Hola, we're Yappa Tree Properties, Cuenca's go-to destination for property sales and rentals. I'm joined today by someone I consider to be one of Cuenca's best real estate agents, Xavier Amoroso. Javier has been in this industry for a very long time and we're very proud to have him on board as one of Yappa Tree's key sales agents. Welcome Javier, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Gracias Jason. Hello everyone. It's my pleasure. I know the Cuenca real estate market can be difficult for expats to understand, so I'm very happy to share some property sale insights, and hopefully our audience can be better informed when the time to make a purchase or decision comes.
Awesome. I know pinning you down in one spot long enough to shoot a video is always a challenge, but I guess that is the nature of being a successful property agent here in Cuenca. Let's get to those sales results. Starting from a high level, how many properties did you sell during the last 30 days?
Well, in June I made 7 sales. That's the double of June 2022, which is a really good month for me.
That's a massive increase. So what do you put that down to? I assume you're not working twice as hard compared to this time last year?
No, actually I'm enjoying my time on my mountain bike. No, actually I'm focusing my marketing efforts to new developments. So we're just focusing on new developments, and I'm choosing some areas of town that I think they are more productive in terms of sale and resale. Actually, I'm running out of listings right now.
So you're basically being more selective in the types of properties that you're selling?
Basically, yes. What I choose places that I think they have a lot more potential in terms of resale. Also, I choose places where I think I will live and I would be happy to live. It doesn't matter if it is 1 bedroom, a small, tiny suite, or a luxury palace on the hills. But it has to be something where I can be comfortable myself can be comfortable.
Sure. It has always impressed me, not so much the properties that you list, they're great, but the properties that you don't list. For me, that's the real difference in a quality agent versus an agent that's just trying to sell everything under the sun. I know that you don't list everything. I think, 1 out of 3 properties that you visit to potentially list, you would end up actually listing. Is that around the benchmark?
Yeah, probably 3, probably 4 visits, 1 listing. I reject a lot. I do a home inspection. I'm not a professional home inspector, but I've been in the market for a long term, so I know what to check and what not to check. And you know, I know the market, so I'm not going to waste my time or my customers' time.
Sure. And getting back to the sales for the past month, what would you say would be the average in terms of the dollar value for the sales?
The average price on the units, it was 123,500. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was $840,000 total. So yeah, 123,500
for the units. What about for the houses? How does that work?
Well, actually, it's a fun market because you're going to think that the houses are going to be more expensive, but the only house I just sold 1 house. The only house what I sold, it was a VIP qualified house in the outskirts of Cuenca in an area called Misicata. It was sold for $99,000. It was fun because it's a 3-story house in a gated community, 3 bedrooms. You know, we talk about VIP loans before. You should put the link.
We have, but just for people that don't know, a VIP loan or VIP house or loan to get a house with a VIP program is considerably lower than a lot of other prices on the market.
Yeah,
right? So
it's focused to locals. Unfortunately, locals living in Ecuador, locals living in overseas. The rate is lower, the down payment is lower, and the prices of the houses are usually lower.
The idea is like a starter home or first home buyer.
Yeah, it's your first home.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And so In terms of land, did you sell any land in the last 30 days? I know you don't concentrate a lot on
No,
land.
actually, I just have three listings, three land listings, and I don't focus on land because it takes a little longer. There's a lot of restriction and paperwork to do before you buy land. So I just want to make sales on housing.
Sure. It's more complicated, I understand. Yeah. So in terms of the houses, you've said you've only sold one, so there's no highest or lower, and that was one at about $100,000. Mm-hmm. In terms of the apartments, what was the range there in terms of the prices?
Okay, I'm gonna separate two different kind of apartments: investment apartments and living apartments. Mm-hmm. Okay, the units you're gonna use to live in. The investments are usually really inexpensive. Okay, and what we've been looking for, and we're working with a couple of developers on creating new developments on investment property. Mm-hmm. Small, tiny suites, one bedroom. The cheapest one, matter of fact, was 70,500 in cash. That was the asking price, and that was the selling price. People is paying full price, you know. Mm-hmm. But that's located in downtown or close to downtown, and it's good to put it on Airbnb and sometimes on long-term rental, you know.
Sure. So that's for the investment grade properties. Yeah. And in terms of the other type of properties?
The other ones are in the Puerta del Sol area or Primero de Mayo area, Tres Puentes, some different middle high class Cuencano areas. Those are between $130,000 and $170,000 as an average price. Yeah. Of course, you can find them. Those are the 2-bedroom units. The 3-bedroom units you will find probably in the $200,000, $250,000 range. And of course, there's some luxury units in the area.
Sure. And something that you just said, that people are paying full price at the moment, that's what I want to dig into. So in terms of the overall trend for the past, let's say 3 months,
yep.
How do you see the market? You mentioned people are paying full price, so obviously there is a lot of, a lot of heat in the market.
Well, the market is hot. I'm running out of listings. It's really hard to get listings now. That's why we're working on new developments. Yes, they are paying full prices. Credit is easy for locals. Most of the market is local.
Sure.
So, and that's really important because sometimes you think the newcomers are affecting the market, and it's not.
See, and there is this perception amongst expats that properties can take forever to sell, and sometimes they can, but obviously not every type of property. And the properties that the investment grade properties, the ones that you're deliberately going after to list.
Well, that's why I reject listings. Yeah. I'm not gonna list the property that is gonna take me 3 months to sell.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna list the property that is gonna be sold within days, so I can move into the next project. You know, yes, sometimes I take some units, but most of the times not.
Awesome. So we're going to get into some very specific case studies in a minute, but beforehand, can you share some trends or lessons that you've learned over the past 30 days? I know you've already mentioned that things are selling at price at the moment.
Yeah, well, people is paying full price, and we still have the bargain culture there, but it doesn't mean that sellers are going to be willing to go down in price.
So sellers aren't at the moment willing to budge, basically, for the developments.
For the developments are not, and I'm not selling just developments, but in this kind of particular market, with the market's going to be hot, they're not. So you're going to be willing to pay. Of course, I'm not going to list on a gringo price. That's another way to reject. If the price is high, buy. I'm not going to list it.
You're not going to waste your time. You're not going to try and sell something above the market price.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Sure. Great. So let's move on to some of the specific case studies. Yep. The first one, I understand you have about 4 to run through today. So let's jump to the first one. Which property do we have right now?
Okay, let's talk about Kira 301. That's a 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom, little terrace facing a little square park.
In Puerto del Sol.
In Puerto del Sol, yeah, it's just 1 block away from the river. It's brand new construction. It's actually pre-construction is going to be delivered on October this year. It's really well done. It's,
What did it sell for?
165.
165.
And the price, the asking price was 165.
Yeah, great. And what were the owners really interested in terms of that particular apartment?
You know, it was a fun sale. It is an expat who's looking to relocate in Cuenca. It was like love at the first sight. She just went into, she saw the bushes behind the windows, and she said, well, it's mine. And I didn't have to show anything else. It just, okay, let's do it.
It sold itself.
It sold it itself. Yeah, it's a great location across the river, brand new, as I'm saying. The convenient location is close to markets, restaurants. Most of the people who lives in Puerto del Sol is local, but there's a lot of English speakers, which is going to help you just in case you're going to be moving into. Some expats as well are living in the area. Yeah. I think it's a good spot to live.
Sure. Was this buyer, were they in the market for a long time, or was this one of the, one of the first properties that they came across that really ticked their boxes?
Well, the building itself has been in the market for a while because there's a lot of units there for sale. It's a high rise, it's a large high rise. However, she saw 2 units with a different agent, and we had a plan to see some other 3 units. So I took her first to Kira, and we couldn't leave.
That was it. She saw Kira and she just fell in love.
Yeah, well, Kira's nice.
That's great. And when you get such a strong reaction, that's really positive.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna waste her time. She wants to buy there, just do it.
Yeah. Awesome. And anything else that the audience can potentially learn from this particular sale?
If something goes clunk on you, just make a decision.
Sure. If you see something that you like in the market,
just shut it. Like, do it. Somebody else is gonna jump on it.
Sure. No, that's important to note too. So, in terms of the next property, what is this property and what was the price that it sold?
Let's talk about Casa Corral.
Okay.
Casa Corral. I think we made a video about Casa Corral.
Yeah, we'll provide a link to that one as well.
Yeah. Casa Corral is a new development, same developer. Rental. Mm-hmm. It is an investment. It is a really good investment. Location is on Calle Bolivar, 1 block away from the main square, Parque Calderón. Everybody wants to be close to downtown. This is actually downtown. Nobody is going to be there. It's going to be that location.
The location is incredible.
Yeah, well, man, you just open your door, the gate, and you're downtown. It sells on its own. There's only 2 units left, just in case you're interested. The asking price was $70,500 in cash, and it sold for the full price as well.
Sure.
The requesting that down payment was a 30% down payment, but the guy just decided to pay 30% down payment in the next, and of course you have to wait a year to pay the balance. But this guy just didn't want to take the chances. Paid the 30% down, and he's making payments of $5,000 to $7,000 each month to complete.
Is this a local or an expat buyer?
That's a local buyer. Yeah, that's a local buyer. Locals are buying a lot. Yeah.
So obviously they want to use it for investment. Are they planning on living in it at all, or just renting it straight away?
No. They're renting. They're going to rent it out, and I think they're going to put it on short-term rental.
Do you know roughly what they're looking at in terms of the short-term rental price for that particular apartment? They haven't got that far.
Well, I haven't gone that far yet, but the unit, there's a unit next door to that development that is the highest price in town. So, of course, they're not going to go on the lower market. They're going to go on the high end.
And the locals are really gravitating towards the Airbnb style rentals for their apartments. And so that is something that you need to know, is that you are competing for those investment grade properties. You are definitely competing with a lot of locals that really want to move into that short-term rental market.
Well, it's not just competing. is also learning from the locals. The locals know the market because they are here. So if you go to Rome, do what the Romans do.
Very true.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's the first two properties. What does property 3 look like, and how much does it sell for?
Okay, it was a little. It's about 100 square meters, about 1,100 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, with a little patio in the back, 1 parking spot. Sold for $80,000. 78,990. $80,000.
Where was this one?
That one is in the Racar area. Okay, it's on the west side of town, up on the hill. It's a little bit chilly in the area, but it has everything. It has a shopping mall. It has some high schools around and schools. It's a perfect spot for locals.
Yeah. So this was a local buyer.
Yeah, it was a local buyer.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a 3-bedroom, and I wanted to point it. For the low budget people, there is still 3 bedrooms on the $80,000.
Sure,
Right.
but you're not going to find them within walking distance to El Centro, for example.
Well, no, 3-bedroom for $80,000. No. But let's say you have family, or you need space, you need an office for him, an office for her, in a bedroom. Yeah, you can find it, and of course you can get a cab ride for $2 or $3 to downtown.
Sure. But the reality is it's going to be a little bit outside.
A little bit outside of downtown, yeah. Not in the outskirts, but still, you won't be able to walk.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
It's still, we live in the Andes, so you're gonna have to climb some hills and go down hills. So walking there is gonna be a little tough.
See. All right, so the last property that you've got to share with us today, what type of property was it?
Well, I'm not going to share property because all of them are pretty much the same, the ones I sold. But I want to tell you that I've been receiving a lot of requests on the Paute area. Yeah, it's really interesting because even I do not list outside of town. I think the Paute area is going to get hot again in the next couple of months.
Why do you say that?
Man, everyone is requesting Paute. Paute is 30 minutes away of town. It's clear air, good water, good service, internet service. You have farmers market 2-3 days a week.
It doesn't have like a supermaxi though.
No, we don't have a supermaxi, but it's a farmers market.
Sure.
You go and get your fresh veggies for less money.
But so it has a lot of facilities, but people still need to come into Cuenca for hospital.
Oh yeah, well, you have a little hospital, 2 or 3 little hospitals, for emergency, but you still have to come. But it's only half hour.
Sure.
Half an hour. And I'm telling you, I've been receiving a lot of requests last 2 months. I reject to do it, but I'm gonna have to. About Paute.
So you think you'll be spending a little bit more time out in Paute, listing properties?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. Because I'm seeing some potential there. If you're interested on knowing what's gonna happen in the market, I'm giving you a highlight. And if you're looking for some land, yes, houses are not as nice as the houses in town, but redoing them is not really expensive. Labor in Ecuador is really inexpensive and is good labor.
You just need to have someone managing the labor properly.
Yeah, and we can recommend 2, 3, 4 different people who speak English, and you can do it on your own.
It's definitely a good option for those guys that are thinking of doing a little bit of building.
Yeah, well, let's see. If you decide to buy a house with land, and you go to Challuabamba, the area where you used to live before, you go to Challuabamba, you're going to be spending $400,000, $500,000. For half of that, you drive 20 more minutes.
So
and you
just
have
the
same.
basic land cost, if you can just compare, I think that's a really good one. So if you can just compare the price per square meter in Challuabamba versus Paute, what exactly are we looking at?
Let's say that in the middle of Challuabamba, right where your house were before, we're talking about $300 per square meter.
Yeah.
An acre is about 4,000 square meters, so so we can translate a little bit. Because we're metric, but in Paute you can find it between $10 and $60. It depends where you are buying.
So that's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference. So you drive 20 more minutes and you have land.
Yeah, yeah.
And the weather there is just perfect all year round. And you can grow avocados, you can grow well, they don't know what a chirimoya is. But you can grow chirimoyas. And you can grow also limes, oranges and stuff like that.
Awesome. That sounds like a really good option. I'm excited. Let's do some videos out there as well.
Anytime.
Great. That's super helpful, Javier. Thank you very much. Now, what is the best way for potential buyers to contact you?
Well, you can view the current listings online on yapatry.com, or you can send us an email with the information you're looking for, and I'll find the property for you.
Awesome. So we're going to have some links to these services in the description below. And thank you very much, Javier, and a big thanks to you for watching. Do feel free to hit me up with any property questions that you may have too. jason@yapatry.com. And if you got value from this video, please do consider giving us a cheeky like, as this does help our message reach more people. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Ciao!